जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hang on, consistency. Lakoka. Tagore Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nastakaye Svabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati naistiki. Hare Krishna. So at the beginning, let me seek your forgiveness for all the glories that I heard about myself. Prabhuji is so kind-hearted, so humble that he glorifies everybody. I am not really eligible for that kind of glorification. And I always take it as my objective. Whatever Prabhuji said, I want to be that. I am not that right now. So we are all here are struggling in our spiritual path, and I am struggling more than almost everybody here. So that's the fact, and I really don't find myself to talk about what our great acharyas have already spoken and commented on. I'll just try to repeat and try to purify myself, try to understand what has been written uh, and what has been explained by our uh, acharyas and our gurus. So we will today see the 35th shloka of the 10th chapter. Please repeat after me. बृहत्साम तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः बृहत्सां तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः बृहत्सां तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः बृहत्सां तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः बृहत्साम तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः बृहत्सां तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः बृहत्सां तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः बृहत्साम तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः बृहत्साम तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः बृहत्साम तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः बृहत्साम तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः The word by word meaning and purport by translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Brihat Sam, the Brihat Sama तथा also Samnam of the Samaveda songs, Gayatri, the Gayatri hymns, Chandasam of all poetry, Aham, I am, Masanam of months, Margashirsha, the month of November, December, Aham, I am, Rutunam of all seasons, Kusumakarah, spring. Translation: of the hymns in the Samaveda, I am the Brihat Sam, and of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Margashirsha, November, December, and of seasons, I am flower-bearing spring. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It has already been explained by the Lord that amongst all the Vedas, he is the Samaveda. The Samaveda is rich with beautiful songs played by the various demigods. One of these songs is the Brihat Sama, which has an exquisite melody and is sung at midnight. In Sanskrit, there are definite rules that regulate poetry, rhyme, and meter are not written whimsically, as in much modern poetry. Among the regulated poetry, the Gayatri Mantra, which is chanted by the duly qualified Brahmanas, is the most prominent. The Gayatri Mantra is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Because the Gayatri Mantra is specially meant for God realization, it represents the Supreme Lord. This mantra is meant for spiritually advanced people, and when one attains success in chanting it, he can enter into the transcendental position of the Lord. One must first acquire the qualities of the perfectly situated person, the qualities of goodness according to the laws of material nature, in order to chant the Gayatri Mantra. The Gayatri Mantra is very important in Vedic civilization and is considered to be the sound incarnation of Brahman. Brahma is its initiator and it is passed down from him in disciplic succession. The month of November December is considered the best of all months because in India grains are collected from the fields at this time and the people become very happy. Of course, spring is the season universally liked because it is neither too hot nor too cold and the flowers and trees blossom and flourish. In spring, there are also many ceremonies commemorating Krishna's pastimes. Therefore, this is considered to be the most joyful of all seasons, and it is the representative of the Supreme Lord Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. Hare Krishna. So we have all been going through the this little better. Is okay. Yeah. So the 10th chapter where Krishna is telling us about his opulences upon the request from Arjuna. We've seen this slide before, but I'm just repeating it for a quick understanding. The acronym for this chapter is C, S-E-E. So S is the source of everything. Krishna is the source of everything. So that is explained in the first 7 shlokas. Then the next 4 shlokas is about Purva Chaturshruti Gita, right? And that is about the essence of Gita. That is the essence of Gita. So it is the first E of C. And the second E of C is where Krishna is explaining all the opulences, which means Krishna is everywhere. So that is the second E. So the acronym is SEE. We've seen this in the last discussion also. So we've been through quite a few of these opulences so far. We will be seeing the shloka 35 where Krishna is talking about further opulences of his. So in Samaveda he says, I am the Brihat Sam. In all the poetry he is saying, I am the Gayatri hymn. In all the months he is the Margashirsha, which normally falls in November and December. And of all the seasons, he is the Kusumakara, which is spring. We see one by one. We will elaborate a little more on the Gayatri part. So Brihat Sama. So earlier Krishna had said in the 22nd shloka that of all the Vedas, he is the Sam Veda. So that's his uh, opulence. He is the Sam Veda. And within the Sam Veda, there are various poetries. There are various. Sam Veda is basically a lyrical Veda. So it is more of poetries and songs sung by various demigods in the praise of Lord Krishna. So out of all these songs, Krishna is the Bruhat song. Bruhat means the major, the bigger one. That is also the best one. That is also the most lyrical one. And he is the Brihat song, which is normally sung in the midnight. As I said, it is normally sung for praising and glorifying Lord Krishna. And that is the most melodious songs within the Samaveda. In his purport, Prabhupada has mentioned that there are various meters, there are various tunes, rhymes used in various kind of poetries. So Gayatri is a special rhyme, which is a special poetry, and we will elaborate a little more on the Gayatri, and we'll understand what Gayatri hymn or Gayatri mantra actually means. So it is the best meter and the most attractive meter of all the songs, and that is why Krishna says, "I am the Gayatri of uh, all the songs. I am the Gayatri." We all know commonly whenever there is a Upanayanam ceremony, the Gayatri is taught to the young boys who get uh, who are actually undergoing that Upanayanam ceremony. It is also called thread ceremony, and they are given this Gayatri. There are various Gayatris. There is a Devi Gayatri, Rudra Gayatri, Brahma Gayatri, and we will normally talk in this discussion. We'll talk about Brahma Gayatri because that is the Gayatri which is initiated by Brahma, and it is passed on in a disciplic manner from Guru to his disciple, and then so on. And that is how it comes to us. We'll see what is the significance of the Gayatri, what is the importance of Gayatri, what are the references which have been mentioned about Gayatri by Srila Prabhupada and by uh, other slok in various scriptures. So this Gayatri hymn, I will not sing it loud because it is not to be sung loud. So you can read it in your minds. It is on the screen. We will see one by one what is actually the meaning because Gayatri is misconstrued by many. Uh, Gayatri is often unknowingly offended the entire Gayatri mantra. So we'll see why, because Srila Prabhupada very clearly explains who should sing Gayatri and how it is to be sung. We'll see word by word meaning of what is a Gayatri. So Om, it starts with Om. So Om is the supreme, the Om is Krishna, is the supreme personality of God, the name of Krishna. Then comes the first part, Bhur Bhuva Swaha. So Bhu basically means uh, existence. Bhu comes from Bhava. Bhava means exists. And Krishna is the self-existent. He doesn't need anybody's support for existing, like we all do in this material world. So he is the self-existence and he is the independent of all. So he is the Bhu. Bhu also means earth, which is one loka. Uh, we will see in further part of the slides. Bhur Bhuvaswa actually refers to three lokas. So Bhu is the loka where we are living right now. That is the Bhumandala, the earth. And finally, Bhu signifies the prana, the life, which is given by Krishna to all. Bhuvaha describes the absolute consciousness of Krishna. Krishna is self-conscious as well as being conscious of everything else. So Krishna is the only one who is conscious of everything else. We at times are not even conscious of our own selves. So Krishna is conscious about himself, and he is conscious about everything that is animate and inanimate, everything living or not. He is conscious about everything. So that is Bhuvaha. Bhuvaha also means the Bhuvar Loka, which is the upper planetary system. And that also means the uh, role of Krishna is removal of all pain and suffering. So that is Bhuvaha. So that is the second type of Loka. We saw Earth, now these are the upper planetary system. And Swaha is all pervading nature of Krishna. Krishna is omnipresent and pervades the entire multiformed universe. So he is all pervading Swaha also symbolizes Krishna's bliss. Everybody except Krishna experiences pain. Krishna is the only one who doesn't experience pain. So he is all bliss. Satchidanand. Swaha also means the upper planetary, the upper loka, the sky or the heavenly planets. And then there are four different planetary systems above all this. I'll not go to that. Uh, so Bhu is Pran or earth, Bhuvaha is Apana or sky, the consciousness, and Swaha is Vyana or heaven, the bliss. The next is Tat. Tat literally means that in Sanskrit. But in this particular Gayatri mantra, Tat means a third person, which is also mentioned by the Bhagavad Gita as himself. Krishna as himself, where he implies the selfless nature of the word. So, Tat means the idea of selflessness. That is the meaning of Tat. Savitur. Savitur actually comes from the word Savita. Savita has got so many meanings. Gayatri Mantra is so profound that we can actually have a series of lectures on one Gayatri Mantra. It's so profound. Savitur is again one name of Krishna. It also means sun. It also means there are so many meanings, or rather, Savita is referred to so many things: the sun, the fire, our consciousness, nature as Jiva, intelligence, Saraswati Devi, Agni Devi, Surya Dev. So there are many references to this particular word, and we are actually invoking through this Gayatri mantra, this Savita, the Savita quality of Krishna. Varanyam literally means one who is worthy of worship, which is Krishna. Again, why am I going word by one? Because the entire hymn talks only about Krishna. In all the senses, it is only talking about Krishna. So it is the topmost praise that Krishna can give, and that is the reason Krishna identifies himself with Gayatri mantra. So Varuna means one who is worthy, which is Krishna. There is nobody else worthy of any glorification. The next one is Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. These are the three things which are again together. Bhargo is taken to signify the glorious light that Krishna's love and power. That is the Bhargo. It indicates his complete purity. Being absolutely pure himself, Krishna also has the ability to purify those who come in contact with him. That is the context of the word Bhargo. Whoever comes in contact with Krishna, he can purify him. This Bhargo is indicative of Krishna's power to purify and to destroy all sins and applications. Devasya, again, Dev literally means God or demigod. And Dev also means here a quality or attribute or the guna. Like for example, Krishna is as Brahma, he shows the quality of creation. As Ramadeva, he shows the quality of love, and so on. There are so many demigods through which he is showing different qualities. So this word Deva actually demonstrates the inherent oneness of all these different forms. All these different forms, when we see them in oneness, is Krishna. That's the significance of Deva. Dhimahi means to meditate or focus on Krishna. I said, requesting him to take us under his shelter. Meditation is Dhimahi. So when you sing this, or rather when you chant this mantra, it is not to be chanted anywhere and everywhere. It is to be chanted as a meditation, as a part of meditation. And that is where I initially mentioned people often Gayatri Mantra because they sing it anywhere without being qualified. The next is Naha. Naha means ours and signifies the selflessness of the request we make to Krishna. So we are not making this request to Krishna only for our own selfish benefit. We are making this request through Gayatri Mantra. We are making this request to Krishna for the entire humanity, for the entire congregation, we can say, uh, for his mercy. So it is not a selfish prayer, it is a prayer for the entire world. Prachodaya is that is the last word of the mantra. Prachodaya, the final word of Gayatri mantra, rounds off the whole mantra and completes the request we make to Krishna in this final part. This word, a request, is a request from Krishna in which we ask him for guidance and inspiration. We ask him to remove the darkness of Maya from our path, that we are able to see the way, and in this manner we ask him to direct our energies in the right way, guiding us through the chaos of this world to find sanctuary in the tranquility and peace of Krishna himself, the root of all happiness and the source of true bliss. So we are basically asking through this mantra to get purified ourselves and to get the bliss from Krishna, not for us, for everybody around us. So that is the meaning of Gayatri Mantra. Now, Srila Prabhupada in his various purports is giving who should be singing or who should be chanting Gayatri, who should not. So, remaining should not. So, what is the qualification for doing a Gayatri or reciting the Gayatri Mantra? Meant for spiritually advanced people only. So, this is ideally not for, you can learn, you can understand, but you're not supposed to sing or not supposed to chant unless you are spiritually advanced. One must acquire the qualities of goodness in order to chant the Gayatri Mantra. So one should be in the mode of goodness, in the Sattva to chant the Gayatri Mantra, chanted by duly qualified Brahmanas only. So Gayatri Mantra is supposed to be chanted by duly qualified Brahmanas. What are the spiritual references? It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is mentioned in Rig Veda. Brahma is the initiator. As I said, it is passed in disciplic succession. Very important in Vedic civilization. So Gayatri Mantra has a special importance. It has a special place in the Vedic culture. What is the purpose and goal uh, of Gayatri Mantra? Especially meant for God realization. Gayatri Mantra is made to understand Krishna and to surrender to Him. That's the ultimate goal of Gayatri Mantra. When one attains success in chanting, can enter the transcendental position and considered to be the sound incarnation of Brahman. That is the Gayatri Mantra for you. So we'll see a couple of references where Srila Prabhupada in his purports, and there are some shlokas where Gayatri Mantra has been referred to. Now in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 14th chapter, 32nd verse, Srila Prabhupada, I've just taken a partial part of purport, I've not taken the entire purport, but this is where Srila Prabhupada has mentioned about Gayatri Mantra and its relationship with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So he has mentioned Kashyap Muni meditated on the impersonal Brahmajyoti by chanting the Gayatri Mantra within his mouth. So it is not to be chanted loud. When a Vedic mantra is chanted within the mouth so that only the chanter can hear, the chanting is called japa. But when such mantras are chanted loudly, it is called kirtan. This is Srila Prabhupada's purport. The Vedic hymn Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare can be chanted both softly to oneself and or loudly. Therefore, it is called Maha Mantra and or the great hymn. In another purpose, the Prabhupada is mentioning in the Bhagavatam 4th canto 31st chapter 10th sloka. By chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra regularly and following the regulative principles, one becomes qualified to be initiated as Brahmana. Because unless one is qualified Brahmana, he cannot be allowed to worship Lord Vishnu. This is called Yajnika Janma. In our Krishna conscious society, unless one is twice initiated, he is not allowed to enter the kitchen or deity room to execute duties. However, when one is elevated to the platform on which one can worship the deity, which means the second initiation, his previous birth does not matter. That is the strength of Gayatri. That is the power of Gayatri Mantra. There is another reference in Srimad Bhagavatam, the 7th canto, 12th chapter, 2nd shloka, where it is mentioned about the brahmacharis living in a gurukul. What they should do? Sayam pratar upasita गुरुवग्न कर सुरोत्तमान संधे उभे च यत्तवाग जपन ब्रह्म समाहित. So at both junctions of the day and night, which means in the dawn and the twilight, namely in the early morning and in the evening, he should be fully absorbed in thoughts of the spiritual master, fire, the sun god and Lord Vishnu. By chanting the Gayatri mantra, he should worship them. That's the significance in the life of a brahmachari. What is the greatness of Gayatri mantra? In Srimad Bhagavatam again, 10th chapter 69th, 10th canto 69th chapter 25th shloka. This is where Narad Muni had gone to Dwarka and he is explaining what he saw there. So, Kwapi Sandhyam Upasinam Japantam Brahmavagyatam Ekatra Chasi Charmabhyam Charantam Stivatmasu. So, Narad Muni is explaining, somewhere Lord Krishna was observing the rituals. This is in Dwarka. No? Narad Muni is explaining. Somewhere Lord Krishna was observing the rituals of worship at sunset by refraining from speech and quietly chanting Gayatri Mantra. Krishna himself is chanting Gayatri Mantra quietly. And elsewhere he was moving about with sword and shield in the areas set aside for sword practice. Krishna himself is chanting Gayatri Mantra. That is the greatness, that is the power of Gayatri Mantra, that is the position of Gayatri Mantra. That is why Krishna is saying, I am the Gayatri Mantra of all the hymns. There is one more reference to Srila Prabhupada where he is mentioning the importance of Gayatri Mantra again. And this is taken from a room conversation from 1973 in Paris. So one professor is asking Srila Prabhupada, how many levels of initiation do we have? Two. The first initiation is experimental. Professor, yes. Prabhupada says chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then he practices, becomes more purified. Then second initiation. Gayatri Mantra. But the first initiation according to Jiva Goswami, that is sufficient. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is sufficient. But still, Prabhupada says, to purify them more, the second initiation, Gayatri, is given. So Gayatri has the power to purify us if we have attained certain level of chanting. So it's an extremely important slok, important mantra, and with all these significances, it is very simply understood why Krishna says, I am the Gayatri mantra of all the hymns. Let's go further. Let's see what he says about Margashirsha. Margashirsha is a month in a Hindu calendar. Masanam Margashirshoham. Then amongst the month, I am the Margashirsha, Krishna says. Why Margashirsha? Because that is the time when nature reveals its bounty, so that it is considered the manifestation of Krishna. This is the month when all the harvests are coming out. If you see, most of the agriculture, those who have agriculture background, they will realize that this is the time when most of the crops are harvested. So Margashirsh is the ninth month of the Hindu calendar. Falls in December, November, December, when the temperatures in India especially are very pleasant. They are not very hot, not very cold. The crops in the fields are harvested. That is the time of the year. For this reason, it is often the favorite month of many people. So why it is the best month? The harvest begins, as I said. In Vedic culture, grains are stored for the year, and farmers pray to the god for a good harvest. It is the time of charity. Margashish month is a time of charity and spiritual growth. Many devotees engage in acts of charity. And can anybody tell me what is the third one? What could be the third one? Why this month is so important? Damodar is Kartik. Hare Krishna. Margashish month is the Gita Jayanti month, and that is the biggest festival as ISKCON devotees. It is our biggest, the best time of the year where we do the big distribution. And Krishna also chose the Ekadashi of Margashish month to enlighten the entire mankind through Arjuna. So that's the favorite month of Krishna. Kusumakara. So in the seasons, he is the Kusumakara. Ritu is season. Ritunam Kusuma. Ritu is season. Kusumakara means Akara means maker. So when the sea creates jewels, it is called Ratnakara. He is called Ratnakara because he creates jewels. So when Kusum means the flowers. When Kusums are created by Lord, that is called Kusumakara. So that is the name of the season, Kusumakara. We call it spring, the flower bearing spring. And if you go anywhere in the world, it is the most loved season. It is the most vibrant, most colorful season. In Holland, if you see, there is in this season in spring there is the this is the season of tulips. You have miles and miles, acres and acres of tulip plantations, and some old people probably if they have seen the Hindi movie called Silsila. So, so it's shot in that tulip garden. It is a uh, absolutely it is heaven on earth. And there is a garden called Kukenhof. In that garden, there are 1,200 varieties of tulips around. You will actually go crazy. You will not be able to finish it in 10 days if you really want to see all the varieties. And this is only in the months of March and April, that is the spring season. That is the only time when this garden is open throughout the year. Otherwise, the rest of the year it is closed. So that is the season, spring season. And what does that spiritually mean to us? Why Kusumaka? That symbolizes the blossoming of devotion in our hearts, like Krishna. That is the spiritual significance of Margashishma. It is to we say Bhakti Lata breeze, right? It is to blossom that beach within us. That is the month. That is why uh, Krishna has chosen this season as his favorite. This is his season. As I said, I'll just repeat. It's the most pleasing, most fragrant, and most colorful season, representing Krishna's ever fresh and joyful nature. So this season actually tells us how beautiful Krishna is in the material world. Just as spring revives nature, Krishna revives the souls lost in this material world. So that's again another spiritual angle to the whole thing. I have just picked a couple of shlokas which I thought have relevance to this particular 10.35. Just correct me if I'm wrong. This is my own uh, understanding, and I'm just trying to correlate. This is a slok from Bhagavatam first and the second chapter. वदन्ति तत्तत्त्व विदस्त्वं यज्ञानमद्वयं ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवानेति शब्दते. So what is the relevance? What is the connection between the two? Now, uh, the translation says, learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call the non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. The three levels that we all have heard. I will not go in the entire text. I will just jump to the correlation that I thought is between this particular stroke and the stroke that we are right now discussing. Some people may first appreciate the beauty of nature. That is their first level. For example, the spring. We can only some people can only appreciate the nature. Then the next place, the next level is some people actually understand that it is Krishna. And the third level is they realize the importance of Krishna there and they surrender to Krishna, knowing this is Krishna's creation. So this is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. This is my understanding. Please correct me if you have any other thought. So what again, for the sake of repetition, what it confirms is the ultimate goal. What is our ultimate goal? To go back to Krishna, to realize Krishna and to go back. That's the ultimate goal. So we have to reach to the level of Bhagwan and reach as in our understanding has to reach the level of Bhagwan. And that's probably the connection I could actually get. Then there is one more slope which I thought has a little bit of connection with this particular slope. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 20.260. It says, Jada haite srushti nahe ईश्वर शक्ति विने ताहाते संकर्षण करे शक्तिर आधाने. Without the Supreme Personality of Godhead's energy, dull matter cannot create the cosmic manifestation. Its power does not arise from the material energy itself, but it is endowed by Sankarshan. So all that we are seeing, the season and the Ritu and the month, everything is created by Krishna through his extended form. So what we are seeing is uh, this slok says Krishna manifests the highest aspect of creation, which is Brut, Sam, Gayatri, Margashesha thing. And what the Chaitanya Charitamrita shloka is telling us, Krishna's expansion injects the spiritual energy into matter, enabling creation. Krishna's energy activates the universe. So this is all activated by Krishna, whether it's a Ritu or whether it's a month, it is all created and activated by Krishna. The same way in in this sloka where it is said, Sankarshana is the a creator of everything. So there is that connection which I thought. So both verses show that Krishna not only pervades the creation but also empowers and sustains it through his divine energy. I have a question. So we have been seeing so many opulences. We still have some more opulences to go. There are total 82 opulences in the whole chapter. But whatever we have covered till now, uh, you can pick as an individual within your own universe. You can pick any opulence which you think is the most prominent in your personal life. For example, now we are talking of Ritu, right? We are talking of season. We are talking of a month. And in previous uh, verses also, we've seen uh, he is the Vajra in all the ayus, and there are so many other opulences which touches your heart. Any volunteer? Harish Prabhu.
Thank you so much for this wonderful class.
It's not finished yet, Prabhu.
Whatever half class you have finished, thank you very much. Prabhu, answer what my personal realization for today's shloka is Margashish. Because before coming to ISKCON as well, I belong to west coast of Maharashtra where we have Panchgani Mahabaleshwar where very gold and strawberries and all the wonderful, beautiful flower gardens. And so that was the only favorite time where we used to go and visit that place. But not only that, when after coming to ISKCON, after attending Damodar month and also the Gita Jayanti, these two most ones are the festival by itself. It's a celebration, and especially Gita Jayanti because Gita Jayanti is that particular month is the month where we try to um, approach different devotees from different sects and try to distribute as many books as possible. I believe that is what is the most personal favorite and the realization. And again, the reason, as you rightly mentioned, the last point in your slide that this is the particular month where I thought that in the particular slide you forgot to put the third point. You asked the question and then you, yes, of course, the Gita Jayanti is very important because this is the month where we please the Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Hari Bol. Yes, Prabhu. You raise the hand first, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, sorry, I am not able to follow your instruction on this, but I have little realization. I'm not able to pick up any one from them. But what I pick up is Prabhupada's mercy on us. How? Because now Prabhupada has explained in his purpose that I may not be pure, have so much contamination, have anarthas. But how Prabhupada represents Krishna, he's so kind, he's so merciful, that in our daily lives, we cannot escape these opinions. If we don't read Prabhupada's purpose, we'll miss them. But how much kripa has been given that whatever our situation is, how much we are drowning in anarthas, but still you try to remember Krishna. Anyways, you may not have that purity of remembering Shamsundar Krishna Vrindavan. Today, I want to share when I was coming to this program. So one of our neighbors was coming out from the building. So I remembered Prabhupada. In fact, we should be like nice to everyone, gentlemen. Like we would have just passed because he's not interested. But I said, look how nice weather it is. He said, it's like London. It's London weather. I was thinking now how I connected to Krishna. That I want to share my heart with you. Can I share something with you? He said, yes, yes. But everyone is curious to know. I said, you see these clouds. Our Acharya Shri Prabhupada has taught us that when we see these clouds, Krishna color, we should immediately see fresh monsoon rain cloud as Krishna. I may not remember Krishna always, but when I see these clouds, I remember him. So that is Krishna's opulence. That color, that cloud, the rain giving propensity. So in short, Prabhuji, not to take time, but what I wanted to say, Prabhuji, that this whole is matter is of compassion of Prabhupada because he has given us Krishna's opulence in a very practical way. He explains his purport that when you see these opulences, remember Krishna. So whatever it is, Prabhuji, all of these opulences brings us closer to Krishna with Prabhupada's support.
Hari Bol Bol. My only question was, which is the closest to you? Is what I asked. I understand every opulence uh, is having the potentiality to take us towards Krishna. We are, you are an exalted devotee. Everything you can connect with. Let me see if anybody else has that connection to. Yes, Mate, we have.
And just having one page literally all the offenses so that I can recall.
Yes, Lord.
So for every God he says,
You want me to display? I have it in a list. Yes, yes, Lord. Yes, yes, Lord.
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Everybody can read. Can you read? There is a list down there also. I'll just scroll it up.
Have answers.
Yes, yes, Lord. Yeah, that's the whole idea.
Previous session, one thing that we all have to think that the reality often that this morning when I walked into the hall, there's the interest of reality. Actually, initially it did not struck me, but later I realized the exam is talking about the final exam. Very important. Every day,
That's very deep, very philosophical.
thanks to him. And further connect you to what Amarajal Dogri wrote this morning in his session, about some class in my football. So he's telling like two classes of people are there. One is who is envious, and other one is who is obedient. So the envious will find it as fearful, and the obedient will definitely find it. or accepting and addition to
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my village is usually off Uttaras. As a family, we are Shiva. My parents still we worship. So from there, I that it comes to me always.
Hari Bol. Bol. Hari Bol. He is the greatest Krishna Bhakt. So, Hari Bol. Any Matajis would like to? Mataji, you wanted to speak?
Krishna Prabhuji, I last very good second number, which is quite obvious and so far also.
Yes.
More that now there's no difference between name and
Oh, yes.
Krishna is the thing that chanting of the body name. It's
Hari Bol.
it was the all sacrifices and the temple. It's theoretically now it doesn't line
Yeah.
by the master.
Hari Bol. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna says,
Hari Krishna.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji says, बुद्धि बुद्धि बताओ, ये तेजस तेजस के नाम है। प्रभुजी, क्योंकि मैं कोई भी बोल रहा है कम कम कृष्ण, श्री ठाकुर जी ने जीव को जब अपना अंश किया, उसके बाद थोड़ा थोड़ा गुण भी मिलता है। गुण किसी भी जीव का नहीं है, गुण केवल श्री ठाकुर जी का।
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hari
my
Krishna.
humble Dandavad pranam to you.
Hari Krishna.
See, among the opulences of Krishna, the taste in water, Krishna says that he is the taste in water. So the water is very commonly we are connected. In the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita also, Manmana Bhavamanta. So always we have to keep Krishna in mind. But how it is possible for me, as far as concerned to me, I am a neophytic practicing devotee in a low level. So I can always see water around me throughout my 24 hours of day life. So in that water, whenever I'm tasting or giving to somebody or doing ashraman or whatever it is, so I feel that taste and that quenches our thirst. It is satisfied always. So that complete satisfaction is Krishna. So that is what Krishna for me. It started like that. That taste of Krishna started in my life. Till it is. I am very much content in this. Thank
Hari
you.
Bol. Mataji.
Hare
Hari Bol.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So Krishna is. He spoke. You can take the last one. Go. He said. नहीं नहीं अब ले लो माइक ले
हरे कृष्णा प्रभुजी नमस्कार।
हरे कृष्ण दंडवत नाम
मैं हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ।
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल
मुझे नवंबर महीना बहुत बहुत अच्छा लगा क्योंकि इस बात का जो पहले मैं ज्वाइन किया था उससे पहले का मतलब क्योंकि जब दीपावली आते हैं ना तो उसमें तो सिर्फ 2 दिन का वो होता है भगवान को दिखाना। और जब मैं इसको ज्वाइन किया तो इसमें 1 महीने तक दिखाना और वो बहुत साफ फील होता है। जब मैं जब मैं फर्स्ट बार आया था तो मालूम नहीं था तो मैं चला गया उधर लुलु मार्केट के पीछे और उधर मैं 3-4 घंटा वेटिंग किया कि कहाँ पर है कहाँ पर है कहाँ पर है। एक बार तो दर्शन हो जाता है क्योंकि लास्ट है जब मैं इधर आया था तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। और नवंबर महीना में जो दामोदर महीना है वो बहुत अच्छा लगा। बहुत 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 स्वीट और उसमें भी वो जो नवमीश्वरम जो कीर्तन करते हैं ना ये दोनों स्वीट लगाई मुझे
हरि बोल
महीना का।
हरि बोल
हरे
Hare Krishna. Actually, if you see, Krishna has given us so many areas, and he says this is just Ansh. matra. So he has got probably millions of times more opulences, but he has only given us this so that we, every moment of our life, we can, as Purvi rightly said, in everything we can see Krishna. In everything we should realize there is a part of Krishna, there is an opulence of Krishna. So whatever we see, you see these categories, he's talking of qualities, he's talking of demigods, talking of animals, he's talking of nature. Anywhere you run your sight, you will find Krishna. So that's more easier to understand, to follow. But yes, finally we are all practicing devotees, we are all sadhaks, and we do have our own choices and our own likings still. So that's why I asked, which is that appeals you the most. That's the only I wanted to have some kind of interaction, and that's the whole contention. So, do we have 5 more minutes?
I don't know, just only one.
Yes, please.
So, for me, Prabhuji, like, not at all qualified, of course, 100 of them, I am not qualified. But Krishna is saying among Deva Rishis, I am Narvamani. So, if we think about Narvamani, wherever he goes, wherever, which universe or which world, wherever he goes, whether Bhagalok or Swargalok, wherever he goes, whether Asuras or human being or whoever, he is telling about only Narayan. So this is very wonderful things to see because I'm seeing here everywhere like overthinking. Just I'm comparing with them now. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. He is the only one who has multiple entry figures for every loka. Hare Krishna. The last couple of slides, and then I'll wind up. Just 5 minutes. It's okay, bro. So this is a shlok from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Everybody knows this shlok. Sarvopadi vinamuktam tatparatena nirmala. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchare. So I just tried to connect this to this particular shloka. What is the connection? Krishna's presence in the best aspects of the universe is an invitation to all the devotees to engage in pure devotional service, leaving everything behind, Sarvopadi, everything behind, and seeing Him everywhere, in everything. So that's the bottom line of the entire thing. And finally, this is again one slow from Bhagavatam. I'll not go by everything, but I'll just read the second line. Tasmat kenapi. They say yenaken prakarana. Somewhere I read yenaken prakarana. That is also one slow. Upayana mano krishne niveshe. So do whatever it takes by any way, by any means. Just apply your mind in Krishna. Invest your mind, fix your mind on Krishna. And that is what all these opulences are telling us about. So wherever you see anything that you see, you can simply fix your mind on Krishna. That's the bottom line. That is the mercy of Krishna, that He is telling us about all His opulences. Not all. He is telling us about His opulences, and so that it becomes very simple for such fools like us to find Him in everything, to find Him anywhere that we see, anywhere that whatever that we experience, to find Him and to fix our mind on Him becomes very, very easy. And for all this, Srila Prabhupada has given us the Hare Krishna Maha, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the Hare Krishna Maha. And if we practice this, we can definitely fix our mind on Krishna, and that's the whole idea. So I stop for here, and I think it's time already. We can take some questions, one or two questions, and I'll try to answer. But before that, if I have committed any mistake, please, you all are very large-hearted. Please forgive me for any mistakes if I have made, and I'm open for any comments, suggestions, or questions. Hare Krishna.
First of all, the word was it's a wonderful, very nicely and in great detail you spoke about the destiny of and all the good of Krishna. I found it wherever we can only sit from that goes to the point and making that shows your own personal partner, your personal studying of the scripture of Srila Prabhupada. The way you brought out the push focus from African village of from the temple. Also, which is very important. They are all when we reach our Gita, we see that where in kind of tattva has been presented in our Samaj and Sananta, bringing them together, so that really is very helpful. And when we have more than one Brahman for any of these matters, it becomes very big. That's God.
Yes, Lord. Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
very nice lecture. And my question is regarding of the month I am Margashri. So why not Kartik? Why Margashri? Because Kartik is
Kartik is for the devotees. Prabhu. Kartik is for the devotees, right? Margashirish is Krishna's choice. He wants to call it Margashirish. We have
not the other using month. Krishna is in the month. I thought, as per my understanding, we thought like, we should like Kartik by Margashri.
probably that is his choice, no? No, please.
So Krishna is very merciful Lord, and what he does, he always wants to glorify you. That's why he has given this name, the month Kartik. So Kartik month is the Ujashwari, which manifests or which is presented as Shri Radha. Shri Radha, you see the connection between Kartik and March. We always follow Lord Krishna. Kartik is always between March. March is the song. Radha is behind March. Always looking for March. That's why this month comes there. March is the and the second question for the glorification of Kartik month, what we say there, we say this concept Bhagavad Gita and Krishna says I am asked this November and December. But this Kartik is the most important month of Krishna. Because this is most important month of Radharani. Krishna doesn't say March is I am March. So Kartik is much higher than March. But the little bit of is almost removed. Almost removed. My second question is regarding the Gayatri Mantra. So, like in Islam, we say that only Gayatri Mantra should be chanted who are in the vertical running initiation, but we see in India it's being distributed very leniently, and there is also one Gayatri Parivar, which actually do every yajna for this, and they also encourage everybody to write Gayatri Mantra, chant Gayatri Mantra.
Maybe there are machines available where continuous Gayatri mantras are chanted, and you play them. Some people play these machines in their house. But what the scriptures are telling us, what Srila Prabhupada is telling us, the importance of Gayatri mantra is not very. It's not Gayatri mantra is not so cheap. Gayatri mantra is not. It has got a tremendous potential, and it has to be handled by the right person, and that's why they say people who are elevated in the process of bhakti only should do that, and it has to be given in a disciplined succession. It has to be given by the guru, and that is what our scriptures are saying. What people are doing. That's why initially I said Gayatri Mantra is often offended by 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 not understanding the meaning or not understanding the power of the mantra. So it is offended by many who do not follow the scriptures, who do not read the Srila or who do not follow his form, or who do not follow our scriptures. So we loosely use it as any other mantra, but they do not realize the power of that. It has got very scriptural directives who should sing and why, who should chant, and it even says it should be chanted within your mouth. So even those who are authorized to chant, they should not also chant it loudly. If you go to Nasik in Trambakeshwar, they do all sorts of last rites. It is one place where people go for all those, shraddh karna, ye karna. So if you go there, the pandits, they will ask you to chant your Gayatri during the whole process. And by mistake, if you chant it loudly, they will shout at you. They will say, chant it within your mind. You should not chant it loud. So that's our that is the directive given by the scriptures. And if somebody is not following it, either we should correct them or ignore them. Hare Krishna. Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Everybody is busy in the duty person. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I would like to first of all thank His Grace Sananta Prabhu. He's always been uh, coming up with some wonderful content which is really very educating. And today's content was very educating as well. So thank you very much for taking on. I've done a lot of research for the benefit of all the vast movement. I will thank the group for taking this effort now.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare.
So we are approaching a very special festival. The name of the festival is Lord Purnima. Very nice. So as we have heard from our Sikha Guru, the great Rashtragastam, that before we attend the festival, we should be ready for the festival. How many of you are really ready for the festival? But I will definitely tell. Compared to all of us, there are few devotees who are more ready than us. I am referring to our little Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, and I would like to tell you why. So today in their class, there is this. You can see a different shade of their gratitude to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Different shades. Different shades. So this is one shade, and this is done by Radha Rupa. Can we have a big round of applause? This is from Agastya. This is it. He is basically trying to explain Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, and Krishna is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Can you see the shade? Very beautiful. Can we have one high word? This is Kanishka. Every imagination of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So beautiful. Very, very nice. Extremely wonderful. And last but not least, we have a very special masterpiece. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Adhya. Adhya is also called another devotee. So that's basically, as I mentioned, when you actually get into the festival, you get into the mood of the festival. So the Sudh Heart, someone who was trying to prepare this and guide This is our HG Sananta. We thank you all for having this opportunity to have this small children for inspiring us for getting ourselves ready for the festival fun. So this is that for the wonderful Vaishnav and all of us. I think this is right now. And then we might have very strong. This is what the Yes, so we are approaching, as I mentioned, Gaur Purnima is coming up on the 14th. So we won't be having any kind of program over here in this particular hall. We will be teaching in the hall, which is Regal Arabic School. So just imagine they are also purifying Arabic schools now. It is very wonderful. So we will be definitely sending all the contact details as well as the information in regards to the location. The only request we have over here is do not wear tilak or any kind of Vaishnava dress. Carry along with you and you can go all the stages inside the hall. And we have wonderful opportunity for all of us to contribute in the seva list. So who wants to contribute in terms of offering water or the sponsoring for the auditorium cleaning expense and stage decoration, devotee transportation, because we have a lot of devotees are coming from camps. Many devotees will be coming, so we are expecting around 1,000 devotees in this particular program. It's one of the most prominent Gauriya Sampradaya program. So we have that opportunity as well, being water for 700 devotees and so many different sevas. I would not like to elaborate because of